What's going on, everyone, and welcome to The Remote Control, a podcast where a couple of nerds just sit around and geek out about movies, TV, video games, and more. I'm Robert Slavinsky, and with me, as always, is the wildly unshaven but never unkempt Colton Bird.
Yeah, this isn't the third time we've done this.
Changing up our setup and everything like that because somebody canceled on us. Donald.
People.
That's all right. He will be on our show in a couple weeks, so look forward to that. Donald Booth. He was on our show back early on in our first 5 episodes.
Yeah.
But
he was a very formal guy.
Very formal.
Called us gents.
But it's cool. I'm looking forward to having him back here. He's a big cosplayer, so he has a lot to talk about with that. But let's get some of this other stuff out of the way. First off,
9/11 was an inside job. But first and foremost, we'll get that one out of the way.
But all right. So
Topical.
right now, the Remote Control Podcast, we have a contest going on for a Justice League Superman Funko Pop figure. All you have to do to be entered in to win this pop figure is to subscribe to us either on Podbean or iTunes and then submit a review. It could be a good review, it could be a bad review, any type of review that you want. I don't care. We just want reviews there. Hopefully it's a good review because, we do kind of work hard at this podcast here.
If you're going to write a review and you don't feel like really writing anything, put 4 stars and say, hey, Colton, you're pretty cool. And maybe I'll message you or something. I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right. But again, just, subscribe, review. That way we can have some good times here, at the Remote Control. Yeah. And if somebody will win a pop figure, we are going to be giving it away the week of November 12th. That's leading up to the Justice League premiere. We're going to give it out on the episode that we released prior to Justice League coming out. And as soon as we, pick who we're giving it away to, we will be sending it out the next day in the mail so that person can get it and be all excited that they have a new pop figure.
Or we'll meet you in person.
Or we'll meet you in person if you're in the Pittsburgh area.
We can sign it for you because, we're cool and shit.
Yeah, how about that? All right. With that, also make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. I started doing some YouTube videos here and there. This week, I did a short 15-minute talk review about Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 1, the 100th episode. I had a little bit of talk about that with that. I am planning on doing CW stuff. It's just, for some reason, this past week, it was just horrible editing and software wasn't working.
And Bob sucks at life. Don't forget that.
So I got all the components I need. So starting this week, I will be doing a weekly CW show where I talk about the CW, Arrowverse, Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, as well as Legends of Tomorrow. And Colton's broken for some reason. I didn't hear what he said. Maybe you guys heard it, but I didn't hear him.
I said, and Bob sucks at life, and then he took a pause. Like, you could hear the moment where you swallowed sadness. It just kept going.
All right. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's going to be a lot more going on there. And you can take the journey with us. I mean, our editing tools and everything like that are getting better as we move along, so you can see us transform into a bona fide YouTube channel, hopefully. So
yeah, where we get 3 views, and then when we get famous, we get 5 views.
Hey, our live show got like over 600 or almost 600 views. I'm pretty pumped about that.
Yeah, that's gonna be our all-time watch thing. Remember, PewDiePie started out like that. Now he gets like 3 views.
Really?
No.
No.
He got over like 60 million subscribers.
I thought you were basically saying like people stopped watching him. That's
no, I mean, I'm sure people have. I don't like him.
I don't really watch him, so I'm sorry, PewDiePie.
It's PewDiePie.
You can also subscribe to us on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, all of those podcast apps. You can find us there. You can also find us on Twitter at The Remote Control. That's at The Remote, CONTRL. You can find us on Facebook. We have a Facebook group. All this stuff is going to be linked to the bottom, but you can find us there. Join the discussion. We talk about a lot of things in our Facebook group. We do have a Facebook page also, but that has solely, as of right now, been whenever we release new episodes, boom, it pops up right there. So you can see, it's kind of just a little notice, a reminder when a new episode comes out.
Yeah, so feel free to message us on there.
Yeah, somebody actually just messaged us. What was his name? I'm going to pull it up here.
Yeah, hold on. I'll fill the void with some talking.
Thanks. I don't know what's
so
going on
the remote
here.
control is formally going to start being endorsed by Red's Apple Ale.
No, it's not
this
really.
This is the 3rd episode in a row I've been drinking a Red.
Doesn't mean anything.
It does though. It does.
Trip Royo, sorry if I'm saying that wrong. He actually messaged us today, and he was asking us about the upcoming video game Death Stranding. We'll talk real quick about it here, Colton.
I'm looking for. I had it pre-ordered. There's not much to it other than like.
Look, I mean,
the characters.
Real quick, we know Norman Reedus is going to be the main character in the game, and then Mads Mikkelsen is the antagonist. So that's pretty much what we have for character-wise in the game. We know that it's coming from Kojima Productions, or what is it? Is it Kojima Productions?
It's Kojima Productions.
Yeah, they're publishing it with, Sony Interactive is publishing it. It's being developed by Kojima Productions. Woo, boy.
Yeah, use your words, Bob. Use your words.
And basically, it's made by Hideo Kojima. He was working with Benicio del Toro. What am I thinking? My goodness. I am just not smart
Bob,
at all sometimes.
This is why you're a disappointment to everybody that loves you.
Yeah. Guillermo del Toro. Man, it's...
Yeah. They were gonna make the next Silent Hill game.
Yeah, they were going to make the next Silent Hill game, and ended up getting canceled. It was called Silent Hills, and then he moved over to this. I think it was just Kojima wanted to really work with Norman Reedus for some reason. Don't really know why, but that's what they're doing. So this is the game we're getting. We will talk more about it, actually. We'll shoot for doing something next week about it. Maybe we can do a little YouTube video. Maybe have Colton's first YouTube video next week.
Yeah, Colton doesn't look good on camera. Colton's ugly in front of a camera.
That's right. You're going to get on camera, and you're going to talk about this because you're a video game guy.
Am I?
Yeah.
Cool guys don't look at explosions.
So quickly, I know Colton's not big on TV, so I'm going to cover some TV things pretty quickly.
Not big on TV. Do you see my monitor right now?
That's a TV.
Exactly. I'm big on the TV.
So Walking Dead Season 8 started just the other night on Sunday. It was their 100th episode. And just going to quickly talk about it. I thought it was a decent episode. For being its 100th episode, though, I think it was a little unfulfilling.
Isn't that like all episodes of The Walking Dead, though?
Look, I know, I completely understand why you say that. I completely understand there's a lot of people in the group who are like, Walking Dead, it sucks now, stuff like that. I get it. I was the same way. I just invested so much time up till season 6 where I was like, I can't stop. And then they announced Negan's coming, and I was like, I'm all in again. And not just because it was Negan, but because it was Jeffrey Dean Morgan portraying Negan, and I love him as an actor. So watching his portrayal, I think, has been fantastic. He chews up the scenery so well. It's not bad chewing up. It's good. I enjoy it. And
he's an actor who enjoys his part.
Exactly. And the greatest thing about it is I saw somebody on Facebook, I think it was in the Talking Films group, somebody made a good point in saying, look, Negan is Rick's Joker. Like, if Rick was the Batman, Negan is the Joker. That's exactly how it is, because people are asking, is Negan ever going to die? Is Negan going to ever die? Spoiler alert, in the comics, as far as I've read and seen, Negan has not died. So it's not going to happen in the show that quickly unless they want to go way off the books and kill him off at some point in the TV show. Sorry if that's spoilers, if you don't want to hear that. Too bad. It's out there in the real world. You probably find out somebody.
3 years in the future. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. So, again, it was a decent enough episode. I think what I enjoyed most about it was a lot of the callbacks to the very first episode of The Walking Dead. There's a moment when Carl drives up to a gas station, and he gets out and he's walking around and he crouches and looks underneath a car, exactly like Rick did in the premiere episode of The Walking Dead. Then there was a scene where Carol was sitting against a wall, and she looks over and there's a flower painted on the wall, and it kind of is a throwback to all the moments and times that the flowers have played a role in her
journey,
character arc. You know, from the moment that Norman Reedus, or not Norman Reedus, but his character Daryl gives her a rose whenever they're looking for her daughter, and then to the moment where she kills that little girl, says, "Look at the flowers," and then shoots her in the head. I mean, that's the kind of stuff. You know, there's little nods throughout this episode, which I really enjoyed. Again, Jeffrey Dean Morgan was fantastic in the episode. I have some problems. I mean, Rick shooting an M4 at Negan at one point was just ridiculous. Like, my 8-year-old son can shoot a airsoft gun more accurate than Rick can shoot an actual M4. That's a little ridiculous. I'm sorry. Like, you could plainly see Negan in plain sight, and he just and misses him constantly. That's annoying. I get it. It's TV. It's suspenseful. But at least make it believable that he's actually hiding and that Rick isn't just a terrible shot.
He got that stormtrooper aim.
Yeah.
Just can make an outline around the target
and then
hit the target.
Sticking with the ridiculous use of guns, I'm not good with different types of guns and everything like that, but I encourage all of you to look and see what kind of revolver that Norman Reedus used in this episode while he was riding his motorcycle. I'm telling you, this thing was bigger than a .357 mag. These shells were enormous on this gun, and he's driving a motorcycle shooting this gun one-handed. This is bigger than a .357 mag. So you can't shoot a .357 mag with one arm extended without hurting your arm and shooting it accurately. You're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, no.
And this thing was bigger. There's no way that he did not break or sprain his wrist shooting that gun. And he shot it, I think there was a total of 6 bullets in it, 6 times, perfectly accurate.
Nice.
No. I'm sorry. That's just a little unbelievable. Again, I get you're trying to make him look like a badass, but those are just some of my quarrels with this episode. Overall, like I said, I think the episode was good enough. I was upset there was nobody that was killed in the episode. It's The Walking Dead. It's the 100th episode. You may not make it to 200 episodes, so this is like your big moment. You know, why not kill somebody off? Mm-hmm. It's not that hard. You kill somebody off here. Who would it have been? My pick would have been Carol, but I would have been good with Daryl because I've been wanting Daryl to die for some time. Oh, shut up, girls! I know you're yelling at me now. Daryl should have been killed off a while ago because they need to show that there are actual stakes in the show, and killing him off, of all people, would show that there's still stakes in this show. But I'm going to continue watching it.
Yeah, there's still stakes in the show. I think there's a cow or two.
That was bad. Moving on to the CW verse this past week, there were good episodes, better than the premiere episodes for sure. It's interesting to see the development of all the characters and everything like that. I think Barry's a little too happy on the Flash. I think Kara's getting a little... She's not quite herself yet. Mm-hmm. It was in this past episode where she finally started to become herself again after loss of Mon-El, which is good. The Legends... It was an interesting episode with being at the carnival and seeing what J.P. Barnum, is that his name or whatever. That was interesting. I don't know. I mean, this season has to start off well. I know it's only 2 episodes for each of these shows. The Arrow is still excellent. I think this episode was just as good as the first one. I don't know what they're trying to do with these other shows right now. And it's really upsetting because The Flash was one of my favorite shows for the first 2 seasons. Last year was still up there, but it kind of dropped off in this season. Again, it's only 2 episodes. I get it. But again, that's why I want to do this weekly CW podcast, coverage of all the shows, because I want to get this off my chest on a weekly basis. Because
I'm sorry, you can tell me to shoot it somewhere else.
All right, TV Gotham was really good this week. We actually saw the introduction of Solomon Grundy, which I thought was pretty cool. Now, I know a lot of people think he looks ridiculous because he's not a big, muscular guy. It's the guy who played Butch in the seasons prior, and he's fat. I mean, he's a fat guy, and they kind of painted him gray or blue, and he has white hair. It's all right. Like, it doesn't look great, but he's talking like Solomon Grundy. He talks like he's a 3-year-old.
I gotta look up a picture of this.
And it works for the show. I think it really, really does work for the show. It was interesting, spoilers, to see Ra's al Ghul die, but I don't think he's dead for good. I think that's for sure. They're not going to kill off a character like that so quickly in the show. But it was, it's been interesting. It's definitely been interesting. Falcone's daughter. God. I can't remember what her name is right now. I should have written it down, but I wasn't planning on talking about her. I think she's gorgeous, and I really, really like her character. Seeing Lee come back at the end of this episode, going to be a little interesting to see what she's going to be doing now. Then again, I kind of got sick of her character last year, so hopefully they can rein her back in and make her an interesting character once again.
How do you feel about there being a possible Batman?
What do you mean a possible Batman?
In
the CW verse?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Arrow, this past week,
I was trying to think of the show, and I just couldn't.
Arrow name dropped Bruce Wayne. So everybody jumps in, hey, we're going to get Batman, we're going to get Batman. This isn't the first time the Arrowverse has dropped or names or references to other characters in the DC universe. There was an Arrow either a year or two ago. They had a reference for Hal Jordan, who is one of the Green Lanterns. There, in a Flash episode, there was Ferris Air Force Base, which is the Air Force Base where Green Lantern was stationed. Then there was the name drop of Bruce Wayne here, and then there was a newspaper article in the Flash a couple weeks ago where it talked about Wayne Tech. We see these references all the time. Doesn't mean we're going to get these characters. I've always said this: I am completely fine if we never see Batman, but damn, would I love to just see Bruce Wayne show up one time. Just let Bruce Wayne pop his little head in, whether it's on Arrow or the Flash or something like that.
Drop $15 million.
Just make it where he sits with Lena Luthor and Supergirl, or comes to Central City for helping rebuild the particle accelerator and willing to donate money for it and stuff like that. Kind of stuff would be cool to see, and just make it Bruce Wayne. You don't need to make it Batman. You could then have some kind of little reference to him actually being Batman, maybe on the news you see in the background it says clown Prince of Gotham at it again, and he looks at the TV and goes, well guys, I gotta go, and then he leaves. That would be cool. So that's all I want. I know a lot of people want Batman. A lot of people want Green Lantern. I'm fine if we just get those little references. Just make it a little bit more. Name dropping's cool, but let us see the person.
Yeah, give the character a face.
I don't need to see him as Batman. Just give us a face, though. I'd like that. So, and that wouldn't be too bad, and I think people would appreciate that. As long as you can establish there at that point in time, look, we're not going to have a Batman show. But Bruce Wayne is in
yeah, he exists.
He exists. That's all. That's what I would like to see. TV. I don't think there's anything else TV-wise going on.
There's a lot of Halloween stuff on TV right now.
There is? What?
I don't know. I was just hoping you would say something like that.
No, this past week I've been slammed. Normally I catch up on my TV watching over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday. I've been real busy this past weekend, so I got the essentials watched, the CW Verse, Gotham, stuff like that. I haven't watched Inhumans yet because honestly I'm considering giving up on it. I know it's only 8 or 10 episodes, so I should probably just finish it, but man, that show's bad.
At least you have time. I don't even have time.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to jump to film. What's going on in the film world? I'm going to actually start with DC. Shazam is due to release April of 2019 per director Sandberg. And he mentioned this in a Reddit Q&A a few days back. So Shazam is supposed to go into production about, I think, March or April of this year. So that gives, or not this year, March or April of 2018. So that gives them a year to film and do post-production. He mentioned how special effects and everything like that do take a long time, which is why it's not going to come out till 2019. I'm perfectly fine with that. If he's right, if it is going to be April 2019, that's perfect in my opinion. I just want one more movie in 2018, and it's not going to happen. We're only going to get Aquaman, but I really wish we could get another movie in 2018. Speaking of Aquaman, though, that has finished principal photography. There's no more. Well, not no more, but right now principal photography is done. They all celebrated, with pictures on Twitter and everything like that. So they're going into post-production, and I'm sure we're going to be hearing about reshoots probably within the next 3 or 4 months. We'll go back and do some reshoots, maybe even longer than that. So looking forward to that. DC's Zack Snyder announced last week that he will be sharing behind-the-scenes images from the Justice League movie as we approach the release. So far, we've gotten a few, mostly with a lot of. I think one moment we saw the Atlanteans, one we saw the Women of Themyscira on the Batmobile, which I thought was kind of cool. So he's doing some interesting behind-the-scenes pictures that he's doing. He did this for Batman vs. Superman as well, so it's cool that he's keeping up with it. Just make sure you follow him on Twitter. I can't remember what it is. It's not Twitter that he's sharing it, but they do eventually find their way to Twitter. It's not Instagram either. There's some other social media thing that he uses.
Oh, one of them rich fancy people ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, something we'll never be able to afford here.
Fancy people. Justice League marketing is in full swing. Last week, all right. So, literally an hour after we recorded.
Yeah, that tends to happen.
The Big Bang Theory unveiled a contest on their website or something, and on it, it's in conjunction with Justice League. And there's this little spinny wheel thing, and on the wheel, there's a logo for Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the Flash, Cyborg, Aquaman. Then there's the Justice League logo, and then there is a Green Lantern logo. Now, everybody's jumping, oh man, they screwed up. They announced, that's the announcement, that's a release, that we're going to see Green Lantern in the Justice League movie. I still think it's possible. I think we're going to see some form of Green Lantern. But this, was that a mistake? I don't think it was a mistake. I think it's all smart marketing done by DC and Warner Brother. They're just doing that to get talk. The more people talk about it, the more hype there is, the more people that are going to go see it. It's that
exactly.
Simple. So, like I said, I do believe we're going to see Green Lantern. Green Lantern. We will see him in the Justice League movie. You heard it here, not first, but probably for the millionth time.
You heard it here first, people. You heard it here first.
Sticking with Justice League, we now have confirmation, or possible confirmation, that Steppenwolf will indeed be the uncle of Darkseid in the upcoming Justice League movie.
No.
According to rumors earlier last week, people were stating that they heard that they were going to flip the roles. It was going to actually be that Steppenwolf was Darkseid's nephew, which was a change of things. Because people thought, I don't know why the rumors started, but I think people were just like, oh, it would make more sense that the uncle is more powerful than the nephew. And I'm like, that doesn't make any freaking sense. Like, it doesn't matter if you're an uncle, niece, nephew, grandfather.
You give in to the dark side.
Whoever's more powerful is more powerful. Like, it is what it is, you know? So I'm happy that this report coming from Hollywood Magazine, is not, that's not true. So I hope that this report is true, because I don't want it to be flipped around. Just keep it as it is in the comics. Just why not? Why change it for no reason?
Exactly.
You know, that's a nonsense change. It's just not that it would make me think any less of the movie, but it's pointless to do a change like that. So that is that. Excuse me.
Way to punch your desk, man.
Oh, thanks.
I saw that.
All right, I'm going to jump to Marvel now.
Yay!
Thor Ragnarok is killing it on Rotten Tomatoes right now. Has a 98% approval rating on there. Look, we know that Thor was going to be big. I'm worried. I'm not going to lie. I'm worried. They're saying that it is the funniest Marvel movie to date.
That's awful.
What?
That's bad.
Why is that bad?
Because it's a superhero movie, man. Why does it gotta be funny?
I don't mind it being funny. Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, is a fucking hoot. I love it.
Whoa, watch your language, man.
I will watch Guardians of the Galaxy on a weekly basis if I got nothing else to do, but I got too much other shit to do. So Guardians of the Galaxy is awesome. But Thor Ragnarok, I mean, you're talking about Ragnarok, the end of everything. That's what Ragnarok means. And you're going to have so much comedy in it that's a little disappointing. I'm going to go see it. I'm not sitting here saying that it's a horrible movie. Obviously, people that are rating it on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got a 98%. I'm sure it's going to get certified soon enough. I'm going to go see it. We're going to go see this movie.
Yeah, we got our movie passes.
We got our movie passes that we're going to use to go see it. So I'm just worried about it, because while I do enjoy comedy in superhero movies, this one, I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. I don't want it to be too much. You
don't want too much comedy.
Exactly.
I don't think the superhero films shouldn't have that much comedy in them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. Well, we'll see. It's only for us. It's about 2 weeks away.
That's it.
Yep. So it's not this coming Friday. It's next Friday.
Your next Friday.
Next Friday. Whoa.
No, don't do it.
IMDb has confirmed that actor Ty Simpkins will be returning to the MCU in the untitled Avengers 4 movie. Now, if you don't know who Ty Simpkins is, he played Harley Keener in Iron Man 3. He was the little boy that helped Tony fix his Iron Man, not his man suit, his Iron Man suit. I should probably proofread my notes sometimes.
It puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again. Tony Stark just flying around in like a skin suit made of like 15 people.
God. Peppers in a hole in it.
Yeah. You can't defeat me. I'm Iron Man. Just whips like a beam of fingers at people.
All right.
That was morbid as shit.
Ty Simpkins played Harley Keener, who helped Tony fix his Iron Man suit in his own little makeshift lab within his garage. So what does this all mean, Buzzle? What it means is, I don't know.
It means Kalima.
Is he going to come into it? A lot of people were suspecting that he was going to be the next Iron Man after Iron Man 3. They're like, oh, he's going to be the next Iron Man. Maybe that's what they're doing with it, because a lot of people suspect that Iron Man is going to be, Tony Stark is going to be the one that dies in either Avengers 3 or Avengers 4. That's what people think. But we want an Iron Man still. So if he's going to be a teenager by then, which would make sense, I think that, why not have him as Iron Man? That'd be kind of cool. Why not?
I don't know, man.
So we'll see.
I'm still hashtag Donald Glover for Spider-Man.
That's like 10 years ago.
Doesn't matter. No, I'm not saying that one. That's a joke I need to keep to myself.
So I'm kind of excited to see where they go with that. Now, your question is Iron Man going to die in either Avengers 3 or 4? I believe it's actually going to be Captain America that dies. I don't think it's going to be Tony. But I do think Tony's going to give up the mantle of Iron Man. I think it's going to be... everything's going to get rocked in 3 and 4 to a sense where everything's going to be different from that point on. And Kevin Feige has stated that. He stated, like, look, don't go in there expecting that things aren't going to change. Things are going to be drastically different after these movies. Not just in how we release movies and what we do with them, but the universe itself is going to be rocked and changed. So
Spider-Man becomes Thor. Thor becomes the Hulk. It's just crazy.
No, it's just madness. But that is all 4 movies. Do you have anything now? Before we get on to the main topic, like Colton alluded to, we have actually received our movie passes from moviepass.com or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
We are going to be checking them out we're thinking about doing it tonight. Probably not tonight. It'll probably be next week. I think we're going to check it out because I want to go see Geostorm. I'm actually hearing some good things about Geostorm.
You were so hypocritical.
I'm not hypocritical.
You ragged on that movie.
I think it looks terrible. I think it's a big joke. But I'm actually hearing it's good, so now I'm interested to go see
you were
how it is.
So hard on that movie.
I was, and I still will if I come out and don't like it. I'll admit if I was wrong, but it does look bad, man. I'm sorry, it looks bad. But because I have a few friends who said it's actually a fun time, I want to go check it out. And I still haven't seen Blade Runner, so maybe we can go see Blade Runner.
You have friends?
You're my friend. Okay. So the movie pass,
was played well.
It took us about 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks, to get the cards. It was a little over a week. I ordered mine on a Thursday. I got mine on a Friday, the following Friday, and I think Colton ordered his on Friday and got his the following Saturday. So it didn't take long to get, about a week and a day.
About a week ago.
So that was kind of cool to get it so quickly because I heard reports of people it taking 4 to 6 weeks to actually get their card.
That would have been some
so
shit.
I would have been a little upset if I didn't get it, within the 1 to 2 weeks. But I got it. We're going to go check out a movie or two over the next couple of weeks. We're definitely going to use it to go see Thor. So we'll let you guys know how it works out because I know some people were interested in how it works and everything like that.
You'll be getting a whole hell of a lot more reviews from us.
Yeah. I mean, if we can see 1 or 2 movies a week, why not? All right, so our main topic today, I alluded to this last week, because last week we talked about comic book and its source material, how important comic book source material is to film. And, we talked about different aspects of it and everything like that. This week, however, I want to talk about fandom and how I think, or you maybe think, or maybe it's not, is fandom destroying pulp culture? So, from Wikipedia, I'm going to give you the definition of fandom. Fandom is a subculture composed of fans characterized by a feeling of empathy and camaraderie with others who share a common interest. Fans typically are interested in even minor details of the objects of their fandom and spend a significant portion of their time and energy involved with their interest, often as part of a social network with particular practices. This is what differentiates fanish fandom fans from those who only have casual interest. So that's fandom. Now, when it comes to fandom, there's shit ton of different types of fans out there. You got the Star Wars fans, the Trekkies, you got the Lord of the Rings fans, you got the Harry Potter fans,
nerds,
Walking Dead fans, everything like that. Now this is all part of pulp culture. Now pulp culture is a modern popular culture transmitted via mass media and aimed particularly at younger people. So pulp culture is aimed particularly to young people. However, it's not just young people who are into it anymore.
Yeah, Bob, you got to get off that train.
Ah, damn it.
I'm sorry.
So personally, being a fan of all things geeky, I know, and you probably also, Colton, will find yourself in heated debates with other fans regarding certain fandoms.
Yeah, more so you than me.
And honestly, sometimes it's Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, all those things that I've named. You find yourself in heated debates. And quickly, I would like to get out of the way that all entertainment is subjective. Just because I enjoy certain TV or film or whatever doesn't mean that someone else will. The problem I find, though, is it's impossible for people to understand this simple little word, subjective. So based on or influenced by personal feelings or taste and opinions, that's what subjective means, I'm sorry. Based on or influenced by personal feelings, tastes, or opinions. Subjective, okay? So if I like something, that's my personal taste, my personal feeling. But Colton, if you don't like it, okay, you don't like it. You don't need to talk to me about it.
Yes.
It's that simple. People need to just understand. You don't need to get mad at me because I like something that you don't like.
Triggered.
Now, I will be the first to admit I highly enjoy having debates and talking about different aspects of pulp culture. I love it. Even pulp culture or fandoms that I'm not big into. Like, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Come on. I mean, we do a weekly podcast here talking Star Wars. People come to me with their Star Wars questions. I know a good bit of it. I enjoy, the DC universe. I enjoy the Marvel universe. However, I know more about DC than I do Marvel. And
I just fucked Bob up.
I also enjoy, like, The Walking Dead. So there are things that I enjoy. But besides that fact, I also like to listen and talk to a lot of people about those subjects. And sometimes the best way to do this, in my opinion, to learn more, is to ask those people who have the same interests as I do.
Mm-hmm.
However, this can sometimes be the worst thing for you to do.
Yes.
All right.
Like talking to people and leaving your house. Worst thing ever to do.
No, honestly.
Stay inside.
Think about
Cheetos.
it. Like, I can't tell you how many times I'll go onto Facebook, and I'm members of different Facebook groups and fandoms.
Yeah,
and stuff
the
like
most
that.
important one, the remote control.
The remote control. But there's a Marvel group that I'm in, and I would scroll through Facebook, and I'll see some kid, hey, what if Iron Man blank? Like, he says something about Iron Man. Like, it's his opinion. It's what he thinks could happen to Iron Man at some point. And all of a sudden, you just see people go, "You're a fucking idiot. You're stupid. Why would you even think that?
Your mom should have swallowed."
Exactly. That's the kind of shit you see. And it's like, first off,
I've never read nothing so bad.
This person could be a 10-year-old boy who is only now getting into comics, getting into superhero films. And you're going to have assholes like that start to lambast these people and make them hate it.
Yes.
Like, that's just fucking ridiculous to me.
That's why I don't play League of Legends anymore.
Like, it's just, look, let people think. Like, okay, all right, so this kid says, let's just say this kid says, what if Iron Man dies in Avengers 4? All right, let's say he says that. The best response would be, well, why do you think that might happen? And then start a discussion. Oh, and then you can talk to the person and say, well, this is why I don't think it'll happen. Don't just sit there and go, you're a fucking idiot. No,
your mom's gay. She should have swallowed.
Like, I play around with the people on the podcast from time to time when we talk Star Wars. Like, what if this? I'm like, no. But I'm screwing around with them. We're friends. We're having a good time. That's what we do.
Yeah, what you guys don't see is 9 times out of 10 I flip Bob off.
But that's the thing. It's like the fandom is hurting pulp culture. I really believe it is, because the future of pulp culture relies on the young generations growing up and enjoying these things. We're at a time with pulp culture like never before. When I was a kid, you got made fun of for liking these things. If you liked Superman, Batman, Star Wars, Star Trek, you were a nerd. You were a geek, and nerd was a bad, like, that was an insult.
Yes. Nowadays it's a compliment.
Exactly. So we're in this time right now where we should be encouraging these people to enjoy these things, because if they don't enjoy it and they stop watching it and stop buying everything, guess what? It's gonna go away.
Exactly. It's not making money anymore.
Exactly. It absolutely pisses me off.
And then it's the same people that were bullying that are gonna bitch about it.
Exactly. And I don't know. Like, I have no other idea. Like, I don't even know. Like, I was expecting this was going to be a longer subject than this, but
yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree. Come at us, keyboard warriors.
Exactly, these keyboard warriors. It's like,
strap up, get your arthritis wrist handles. We're going in, boys.
Honestly, it's fucking absurd. I enjoy debate. I have a good time doing it.
Okay, Ray theory.
Ray theory?
Yes.
What's your Ray theory?
She's a Kenobi.
Okay, I agree. Nope, that was a bad one.
Wow. Okay, sorry, guys. I'm a failure at life. Okay, BB-8 or BB-9?
BB-8?
Wrong.
No, you're wrong, fucker.
No.
You suck.
No, your mom's gay.
Mom's just swallowed.
And that's how it goes.
It's exactly how it is, and it's just so freaking annoying. Again, maybe some of the people here who are assholes are listening. If you are, I'm calling you out. Stop being assholes. Stop being douchebags to these people who enjoy talking and having their own theories.
If you can't understand having a debate, just strap up a condom and hold your breath for 45 minutes underwater.
I honest to God, like, I'm the same. I get it, guys. You know, you guys who are assholes, I completely get it. Because there are times when I scroll through and I will see the same old Ray theory for the 900th time that we've seen over the last 2 years. It's the 900th time I've seen this theory, and it's complete bullshit because we've already known that that's not going to be what happens. And I believe that. I get it. You know what I do? I keep scrolling.
Oh, yeah, you know what needs to happen? Everybody needs to stop compensating for a tiny penis. Like, we get it. You drive a big vroom vroom truck and you blare country music and rap music at the same time. We get it. Your mother should have swallowed. We get it. Your dad's also your brother. Like, I don't care. Just go home and meet your sister. That's all I'm saying.
It's really not hard. And again, I really believe, I think fandom could easily destroy pop culture. We could see a time, and if it keeps going the way it's going. And here's the thing: the fandom that freaks out at other fans is not even the worst part. The worst part might be this: the fans who criticize the filmmakers. All right.
Yes.
So let's take Marvel for instance. I'm somebody who can sit here and criticize Marvel, but still enjoy Marvel.
Yes.
Even though all these Marvel fanboys and fangirls out in the world,
all these homemade
they want to sit there.
movie
They want to sit there and get pissed off at me because I say, "Look, I think Civil War was a bad movie. I think it's one of the worst Marvel movies." Again, subjective, my opinion. I will lay out my reasons why I think it's a bad movie. You can come back with me and say, "Well, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong," and that's fine. That's a good old debate. But then there's people who will sit there and say, "You know what? Marvel sucks. Marvel's just horrible." Well, why? Because it's not DC.
Yeah,
it's Marvel.
Rachel.
I mean, look, I get that you prefer DC over Marvel, or you prefer Marvel over DC. But again, that doesn't mean the other one sucks. We should be supporting all of it as much as possible because, again, we want to continue having it. And you can sit there, okay, I get it. Maybe your cup of tea isn't the DC films. But don't sit there and bash it and possibly cause other people not to see it who may like it.
I, too, remember when I used to have shit taste in films.
But
good old debate.
Again, it's stop freaking out at the filmmakers. We're getting more of this stuff than we ever have before. Yes, we've seen some bad pop culture films. We've seen some bad pop culture TV shows. It happens. Inhumans, horrible TV show. You have the Fantastic Four movie was a horrible movie.
No, it wasn't.
You can go on on. And
your mom's gay.
Think about it. There was a time when every single superhero movie or TV show was just horrendous. The only good superhero stuff we got was in comics or cartoon form.
Yeah, Batman Beyond.
We're at a moment now where we just get so much goodness on film and TV that, yeah, every once in a while a bad one's going to slip through. It sucks.
Take the good with the bad.
But you take the good with the bad, exactly.
So, with that being said, do you ever think video games will ever reach the pristine, will actually get consistent good ones?
What, video games?
Mm-hmm. Well, video game movies.
Video game adaptations?
Yes.
I think it's a possibility. It all comes down to honoring the source material. I've often sat there and thought that two franchises that could easily make fantastic film franchises are Halo and Prince of Persia. Now, the Prince of Persia movie that we got was actually good. I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people think it is. I enjoyed it, but it could have been better. And I think it's one of those franchises that you could establish up to 10 films and make it good. You know, just setting it in that time period and everything like that. Flip it, and Assassin's Creed could be the same way. But again, the Assassin's Creed movie just wasn't that good. Halo, they've tried to make Halo multiple times. It keeps falling through the cracks. And I think it's because you're getting these people, at the time of the Halo movie at least, they brought Peter Jackson on board. And then you had Neil Blomkamp, who was going to direct. And you're bringing these people on who may not have the passion for the film. Like Neil Blomkamp, that was going to be his first film. That was before he did District 9, which was his first movie. Oddly enough, if you watch District 9, you get a very Halo-ish vibe out of that movie, which I always enjoyed. And then Peter Jackson was just coming off of Lord of the Rings and everything like that, so he didn't want to bother his time. He was like, here, just use my production company. That's all it was. And they made the Warthog. They were making weapons and stuff like that. They even did that short little film that they threw up on YouTube, a couple, I think it was like a 3-episode film or something like that. It was really cool. But again, it's the passion. You have to have people who are passionate about it, and you have to make sure that you stay true to what the game is to a certain extent. Obviously, you can't look at Doom. Look at Doom, all right? That movie, they were like, okay, here's how we're going to do it. We're gonna have us go to Mars. Okay, check, good. That's what they did in the game and in the book. Awesome. But you know what? They're not demons. They're like aliens.
Gay. That's dumb.
Wait, what? How did you change? Why'd you change that?
That makes no sense.
Why would you change? But it's okay, guys, because we're gonna have a first-person view portion of the movie, so it's gonna honor the game. But no.
But the whole game's first person.
So, like they think that they're pulling these little ideas and trying to, okay, we'll honor it this way. It's about honoring what the game is and the storyline. Like, again, make a Halo movie. And there was a lot of talk that they were going to make a Halo movie and Master Chief was going to be the main character of the Halo movie. That's fine. You can do that, because that universe is so big. But don't go in there and not have any Spartans anywhere. Make the Spartans there, because that's a big part, and that's a big part why people love those video games. Yeah, so have the Spartans there.
Think about Halo Reach.
I've always said that they could easily do it where you are like the main character is Master Chief, and you can start it off just like the first Halo game. But what you would do, now this is kind of combining two franchises here in a way, because I love the way the storytelling was done in this other game. But imagine, so you start off, Master Chief gets out of the cryo tube or whatever it's called, and a boo alarm starts going off, and they're chasing the Covenant, and boom, they find the Halo ring. Okay, so that whole beginning of the game essentially is the first 10-15 minutes of the movie. They crash land on the Halo. That moment that he crashes, have a flashback of how he becomes Master Chief when he's knocked out. Like, he's knocked out. So he gets knocked out. There's a flashback. And then you hear, and Cortana's like, hey, wake up, Chief, wake up. And then he wakes up, and then you rescue some. Like, utilize that kind of storytelling. Almost, you can say like Arrow, or as I like to say, Prince of Persia. Prince of Persia did a really cool thing where, he would like fall asleep or something like that, and he would see flashbacks or flash forwards or something like that would be cool type of storytelling for a Halo movie. So that's what I've always thought. But we completely got off track here.
Not really. It was kind of competent. It was pertaining.
Yeah. Look, I just think, getting back to it, fandom, I think people really need to start getting a little more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Less butthurt.
Yes, less butthurt. We'll go with that. Just stop being assholes to people who
quit being dickheads.
Have different views than you do, because you are ruining pop culture. You're making it where people don't want to enjoy this stuff with us. And that's what that's what pop culture is. It's a culture where we all get to enjoy something.
It's a culture where we all go to the local McDonald's and get pop.
It's always fun. It's fun to debate. It's fun to say Star Wars is better than Star Trek or vice versa. That's
because
fun.
It is.
It's fun to sit there and rag on some of the horrible things that The Walking Dead has done, because yes, that show is not perfect and they've done some stupid stuff. but you can sit back and say, you know what? I get why you like it, though. I get why you do.
You have terrible taste in TV shows.
I mean,
I am both people.
Look, I want you all to tell us what you think about pulp culture, and if you think fandom is actually destroying pulp culture. Definitely message us on Facebook, on Twitter, wherever. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about pulp culture and fandom, because it is an interesting topic to talk about. I don't think enough people talk about it, and again, I think it is hurting pulp culture. The way fans are today are hurting pulp culture. It's a little disappointing in my opinion. So I don't know. I mean, anything else that you have on that, man?
I just think people need to quit being assholes.
That's pretty much all there is to it. Yeah,
we get it. When you go to Walmart, you take up 4 parking spots because your big old boy truck that mommy and daddy bought you can only fit in one.
Yeah.
So on that note, take your tiny penis home.
But again, this is probably a little shorter episode than normal. Apologize for that. But definitely check us out. We're going to have an episode this week and next week where we go over our top 10 favorite horror films and top 10 comedic horror films. Those will be dropping this week and next week, respectively. With that said, I've been Robert Slavinsky, and with me, as always, was
Big Dick Swinging.
That's who that is, I guess. And everybody, have a good one.